Governments are now facing a big challenge to their control over the supply of money, and they're nervous. In fact, our financial regulator is expected to grill Facebook over its plans to create its own digital currency called Libra. Now, Facebook says this digital cash, forget credit cards, forget bank transfers, it's digital cash, will make it easier and cheaper to transfer money online. And that scares central banks and governments like ours. Because if too many people stop using government-backed cash, governments might lose control of the money supply. They'll have less power to influence our spending behaviour, for instance, to speed up or slow down the economy. And then there are worries about privacy, about money laundering. Well, Elvira Soile is an Associate Professor of Finance at the University of New South Wales and joins me from Sydney. Elvira, thank you so much for your time. Are governments and regulators right to be worried?
Thank you for having me, Andrew. They are right to be worried in several dimensions, which you have already alluded to. So the first one is, if people are paying with Libras and with Facebook's money, this money will not be going through any of the centralized government channels, which means that it is possible to have a transaction occur but not pay taxes on it. It's also possible to declare as if you have done transactions with Libra, so you can launder money. However, it can also have some positive aspects. It may bring people into the market that were not participating in the financial system. So they are worried in some dimensions, but there are also some pluses that may come with this new system.
Yeah, but the freedom of it, Elvira, does that make your heart go pitter-pat? I mean, then again, of course, there's concerns about privacy. We've heard about Facebook's problems there. Does that concern you? I mean, are you happy or worried about this?
As an individual, I will hold private views. However, as an economics means, I think this is something that will bring a lot of positives in terms of enfranchising people into the financial system, especially in countries that are not G20 countries. It may also make it easier for borrowing. It may make it easier to carry out transactions and also cheaper. On the other hand, I share your concerns with the fact that Facebook already knows a lot of information about these individuals and may pair their transaction information with other information that they retain within Facebook. And we know about the issues that they have had in relation to privacy. However, the way it's structured right now, these two entities are walled off, which means that they, for now, are not talking to each other and will not be sharing information, but there is nothing to stop them from doing so in the future.
Absolutely. I trust them as far as I could throw them. How does Facebook's plan differ from Bitcoin, which has been around for a while but doesn't seem to have really taken off?
So there are two fundamental differences. The first one is that Bitcoin is actually a distributed ledger that is public, which means that we need public computer nodes to process the transactions. The one that Libra is proposing, the way that it's proposed right now, it will be a private network to start with, which means that all transactions will be still under the control and observance of the participants. The second very important difference is the fact that Libra will be pegged to a basket of currencies, which means that it will not have the volatility that we've seen in Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been highly volatile. Like, take this month. It started the month at $7,500 to the Bitcoin, and it's been up to $10,000 to the Bitcoin, and it's now gone down again to $9,000 to the Bitcoin. So it's fluctuated substantially. Libra will not have this problem because it will be pegged against a basket of currencies. They haven't revealed exactly how the components will be determined, but we know what the main components are: US dollar, euro, so large currencies.
And finally, is Libra actually going to happen? I mean, so many of its backers have dropped out: PayPal, eBay, MasterCard, Visa.
So a lot of the large backers, which were financial institutions, have backed out. They still have a large number of good backers. But they're facing a lot of regulatory scrutiny, and how regulators take certain issues is very relevant to what's going to happen to this project, and we will have to wait and see how Libra responds. What we have to remember is that Calibra, the company that runs Libra, has just put this forward as a project. They still have about 9 months to go until they want to bring this live. So they may make changes which make it more amenable to regulators. They may make tweaks which bring down some of these issues that the regulators have raised, and especially that the politicians have raised. So they have some room and some scope to make changes, so we'll have to wait and see. But we can't say for certain that it will be dead, because there is demand for it, and we can't say for certain it will survive the way it's been proposed. There may be a lot of changes coming for Libra.
And backers can jump off and backers can jump back on. Elvira Soile,
Yes.
Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you.